back to our big special focus this morning. I'm going to throw a few words out there. Tell me if you can guess which organisation I'm talking about. Vandalism, arson, theft and destruction. What is it? Well, it's become the hallmark of South Africa's once very impressive rail network. Of course, having a major impact on the economy, but also the movement of people. Let's go back now to Tumelo Mothotoane, my partner in news, and that is the view that we're all waking up to this morning. This is a railway station up in Randburg in Johannesburg. Some will know the area near Bosmont, others will know the area near one of the major hospitals. It's a Rahima Musa Hospital. So let's head back over to Randburg as well. Tumzo, good morning to you. So the sun is rising, but unfortunately what we're not seeing is a lot of activity and also not much infrastructure left for those who would even like to use the train. Just give us up to speed what it's looking like this morning.
Absolutely, Gareth. I heard some of those words that you threw out there, vandalism, theft. They're not just words, they're also images that are playing out right at Bosmont Train Station. I want to refer to what we're actually talking about. Just on my right, you could literally see a building that obviously was used perhaps as a ticket, office or an operational office for admin work. However, you could see what's happening there with the roof. Definitely vandalism. They're playing its part. You could see perhaps even, cable theft has been stolen there. Maybe that's why even the roof is so unkept. But also it talks about, management and leadership within the area in terms of keeping up and maintaining infrastructure at this particular train station. That's the Bosmont Train Station that I'm referring to. But it's not only that building that you see there around there, Gareth, but also unkept, grass. The grass and the weeds are so high. This is absolutely no way for humans and human being to actually, walk about. Looks very unsafe here, but as you can see, some commuters still making their way using these stairs to cross over to the other side, because there are residential areas as well as some office spaces and firms that people still use because they're going there to work. So that's what I'm seeing, particularly on my right. But on my left, on this side around, still we could see some weeds next to the railway line. We could also see where perhaps even commuters used to wait for their trains and to take them to their varied destination. This again, Gareth, speaks to the vandalism and the dilapidated, infrastructure, the collapsed buildings that we're seeing around this area. Definitely unkept. Absolutely no way that anyone could make use of this train station. Quite, a sad, sight to see, because a lot of, South Africans depending on this particular train station. As a matter of fact, one gentleman passed me right now a couple of minutes ago, Gareth, and was saying, please help us, please expose what we are going through right now. It's been many years and we have been struggling and suffering due to the inability to access this public transport, for many being an affordable public transport. But I've been going through some research, Gareth, and I mean a particular foundation that I just want to make reference to has actually, made some reference to what we're seeing here. Talking about over 30,000 kilometers of track that we are seeing around South Africa. That's the amount of network, railway network, more or less that we have in South Africa. But also, I mean, this system at this point quite unsustainable for commuters having to make use of at this point. Criminals obviously making way with cables, vandalizing this particular infrastructure, and you can see the extent to which commuters have to endure the lack of public transport, affordable at that, within their vicinity.
No, that's right. And just before we say goodbye for the moment, Tumzo, let's just remind viewers that I think you're going to be speaking to Outer a little bit later. Very keen to hear what Wayne Duvenacher has to say about this.
Absolutely, Gareth. Of course, we'll be talking to Wayne Duvenacher about this from Outer. Quite an important conversation I look forward to in the next hour. Some of the questions we'll be posing to him obviously have to do with the economy, the economic impact this has. It's actually funny, because you and I know that I love amagwinya in the morning, and I could smell somewhere. I just couldn't spot where exactly the smell is coming from. But these are many South Africans' favorite breakfast delicacy, Gareth. And it just made me wonder what, SMMEs, small businesses, informal traders, how they've been impacted. You can imagine if a train station has commuters, peak hours in the morning, obviously that's an opportunity for those selling the likes of amagwinya, the likes of maybe even hot coffees, scones to commuters, having to have lost out on those opportunities and, business around the area as informal traders. So we'll be talking to Wayne Duvenage about that, but also talking about what's happening internally in PRASA. Approximately 3,000 ghost workers benefiting in terms of salaries being paid into those ghost accounts. Who's responsible for these ghost accounts? How did PRASA find itself in the midst of paying salaries to over 3,000 unaccounted or ghosted employees at PRASA? And what exactly will those audits tell us about what needs to be done next in terms of reprimanding those responsible? So obviously the spotlight here being placed on Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula to ensure that as the Minister of Transport, there is accountability at PRASA due to this.
Yeah, where does the buck stop? In this case, where does the millions and millions of bucks stop? It should be with the Transport Minister. Tumelo Mothotoane out in Randburg for us this morning. Amagwenya is what she's going to be hunting to try and stay warm as we go back to her again a little bit later.